One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Audio sync, audio sync. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Splatter-Chatter. And today's episode of, well, not a Let's Play, but a Let's Read. That's right, we're getting back into the swing of horrible fan fictions that, in this case, aren't actually horrible, just kind of painful if you know the canon of the story material. Or rather,
All right.
the original.
Oh no, it's
It
horrible.
is horrible. What we're reading today is Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles by Proud Housewife on fanfiction.net. With me today is Nocturna, who will be tackling the even chapters, and myself, who will be tackling the odd chapters. As far as I can tell, this is a housewife's effort to sort of make Harry Potter less magical,
Harry Potter.
much less Harry Potter, and a bit more strong Christian overtones. I've only heard about this fic in myth and legend. I didn't think it was like really a thing, and then I found this, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's a thing. So I will be kicking us off, and I will be reading both the summary and the author's note here at the beginning, just to sort of ease us in and give everybody here a wonderful taste of what's to come. Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles by Proud Housewife. Do you want your little ones to read books, and they want to read the Harry Potter books, but you do not want them to turn into witches? Well, this is the story for you. This story has all the adventure of JKR's books, but it will not lead your children astray, for concerned mommies everywhere. Blessings! I'm not going to say the name of the author because it's on the screen, but the name fills me with a sense of... I don't really know how to describe it, so I'm just going to say the name makes me feel oozy inside. Author's note. Hello, friends. I'm new to this whole fanfiction thing, but recently I've encountered a problem that I believe this is the solution to. My little ones have been asking to read the Harry Potter books, and of course I'm happy for them to be reading, but I don't want them turning into witches. So I thought,
Oh my
why
god.
not make some slight changes so these books are family friendly? And then I thought,
Oh my
why not share
god.
this with all the other mommies who are facing the same problem? So, ta-da! Here it is. I am so excited to share all this, to share this with all of you. So, without further ado, once upon a time, there was a little boy named Harry Potter who lived under the stairs in a house on Privet Drive with his aunt and uncle. He was a good, obedient boy who did all of his chores, but he felt that there was something missing in his life, something big and special. But he could not quite name it. He stayed up every night and wished for this special something, but then one day there was a knock at his door, and everything changed. Answer the door, Harry! His Aunt Petunia, a career woman, barked from her armchair where she sat with her feet up. She had short, curly blonde hair and never wore any makeup. Uncle Vernon nodded sheepishly from the kitchen and put a tray of moist, chocolatey brownies in the oven. Shouldn't you be doing that? Harry thought, but he was a very obedient young boy, so he answered the door right away. He turned the brass metal
Oh my
doorknob
god.
and pulled open the heavy wooden door. On the porch was standing a huge, muscular man with a big, manly beard. He was dressed in plaid, a red shirt, blue jeans, and sturdy leather boots. His chest was covered in a thick, unruly carpet, of course. 3 paragraphs in! We lost it! 3 paragraphs in!
Are we talking about Hagrid or
I don't
Gaston?
know. We'll see in a moment. I actually don't know who this is. His chest was covered in a thick, unruly carpet of coarse brown hair. He wore a necklace that looked to Harry like a lowercase t. Just looking at Harry made feel peaceful, happy somehow, but he couldn't say why. Good morning, kiddo, the man greeted amiably and smiled at Harry. He had a peaceful, sort of friendly face you just knew you could trust. My name is Hagrid.
Not how you use a
Could I speak to your mommy and daddy? I don't have a mommy or daddy, Harry replied sadly and looked at his raggedy old shoes that were blue. Perhaps that was
It's not how you use
No, it is not.
semicolons.
Perhaps that was why he felt so lonely. He thought, not for the first time. Maybe that what he was missing, a mommy and daddy. But no, that was not quite right. I'm so sorry to hear that, Hagrid uttered empathetically. You can speak to my auntie and uncle, Harry retorted politely, and blinked his big, blue, childlike eyes.
New drinking game, folks. Every time you see a semicolon used in place of a comma, go
Yes,
drink.
this is the drinking game mode. Every time you see a semicolon that doesn't belong and characters who are blatantly out of character, or have aspects to themselves that don't belong, like big blue eyes on a green-eyed child.
Seriously,
Why is it
what
that
the
everybody
fuck?
thinks that Harry has blue eyes? They're green. Like, attention is brought up to this fact in every single book. Harry has green eyes. Harry
brought
has
up
green
here,
eyes.
yeah,
Harry
almost.
has green eyes. Like his mother. That's like the point.
Oh god.
What do you want? Aunt Petunia peered out of the door with her narrow, suspicious eyes. And she was wearing a baggy, unflattering pantsuit. Hello, neighbor. I was wondering if you have been saved, Hagrid exclaimed brightly, and tipped his wide-brimmed straw cowboy hat.
No. No.
Okay, in my head I was imagining Brawny, like the paper towel brand guy,
They turned Hagrid into a
but
cowboy.
then they added the cowboy. Oh man.
Boy.
Aunt Petunia laughed a gravelly laugh
So,
and leaned. Oh, sorry, you were saying something? You wanted to say something? No?
no, I'm
Okay.
just so
Broken by this?
I don't have words.
Aunt Petunia laughed a gravelly laugh and leaned forward on her sturdy, practical boots. Saved? Don't tell me you're one of those Christians! Harry did not know what that word meant, but Hagrid's smile was the most peaceful smile he had ever seen. It made Harry feel warm and happy inside just seeing the glowing, radiant grin on the kind, friendly stranger's face. He wondered why Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon did not smile like that. Yes, I am, Hagrid replied kindly. Are you? Aunt Petunia laughed again and stuck her pointy, sharp nose in the air. We are too smart for that. Haven't you read Dawkins? God is dead. Dawkins proved that. Would you like us to educate you on the Dawkins? What's a Christian?
God.
Harry queried innocently and scuffed his shoe on the shaggy yellow carpet, which had not been vacuumed in quite some time. Christians are people who want to be good, Hagrid explained wisely, and crouched down so he was on eye level with Harry. We want to go to heaven after we die. Do you know what heaven is, Harry? Harry shook his head, and his big eyes were wide and curious. Heaven is a beautiful place where we can be with God. Aunt Petunia smacked her hands over Harry's young ears, and her voice was sickly sweet when she said, Thank you very much for your concerns, sir, but he does not need your religion. He has science and socialism and birthdays. Haven't you heard of evolution? I have a very good textbook on evolution that I could give you on it if you would like to learn things. Hagrid laughed wisely. Evolution is a fairy tale. You don't really believe that,
Oh
do
my
you?
god.
Yes, I do, Aunt Petunia screeched.
Oh my god.
Well then, prove it. Aunt Petunia could only stare at him, and her big mouth hung open dumbly. Here she thought she was so educated, and had always demanded that Christians prove what they believed in, but she couldn't even prove her own religion.
There were 2 semicolons in that sentence. 2!
Evolution
Why?
isn't a religion. Friendship isn't an emotion, numbnuts. Sorry, I had to homestuck to bring it all back to something better. It was then that Harry knew who the smart one here was. Tell me how to get to this heaven place, Harry cried wistfully, clasping his hands together. Sometimes the wisdom of little ones is really amazing. We think we grown-ups know it all, but then God speaks through the mouths of little ones and shows us how we are all mortals struggling along the path of life. Humility. There were 2 semicolons in that sentence again. All you have to do is to be saved. Do you want to be saved? I do! I do! Harry squealed, jumping up and down. Then pray the sinner's prayer! Aunt Petunia tried to stop him, but she was powerless against Harry's pure, innocent, holy energy. Soon, Harry had said the prayer, which isn't detailed here, despite coming from an apparently Christian writer. I want to know the sinner's prayer. What's the sinner's prayer?
I probably knew it at one point, but I have no fucking idea. I don't remember one with that title.
I wasn't raised in any sort of religious environment, so I have no clue. Hagrid beamed happily. You're a Christian now, Harry! Hagrid cried proudly.
That is not how that works.
Harry smiled, but then interrogated. But how do I be a Christian? I don't know how. Hagrid grinned widely. There's only one place to learn that. Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles! Author's note. So, what do you all think? I may not be a professional writer, but I think I am given the talent to pull off this off in service of a greater mission. Blessings!
Okay, so I looked it up. I found the prayer.
Goody. Would you like to read it off for us, or are you afraid of turning some of our viewers into Christians?
I don't think if they're watching this, we have a problem. But, it's okay. Dear God, I know I'm a sinner and I ask for your forgiveness. I believe Jesus Christ is your son. I believe that he died for my sin and that you raised him to life. I want to trust him as my savior and follow him as Lord from this day forward. Guide my life and help me to do your will. I pray this in the name of Jesus. Amen. I want you to realize that Harry suddenly knew this without prompting. And apparently just said it. And I am so...
I didn't expect you to actually read that off when you said I don't think any of our viewers would be needing to know it, so I thought you were just going to go to the chapter, and then you started reading it, and I'm like,
No, I said I didn't think any of our viewers would have that problem of being, like, miraculously converted
yeah, that makes much more sense. Would you like to read chapter 2?
Oh my god. No, I wouldn't, but I'm going to anyways because you dragged me into this.
I don't think ink could take 2 fics in a row.
Or we could have just not read it.
I also don't. I've run out of my backlog for other videos. I'm sorry.
I'm not doing the.
I can do the voices. I could do the
this
voices.
is painful enough.
That's what I did for my immortal in the last bits.
Okay, author's note. Hello, friends. I have been getting so many lovely, thankful messages from mommies everywhere, and I just want to say thank you for all of your encouragement. I want to point out this fic has over 10,000
how much you want to bet that all of them are lovely, thankful messages from mommies everywhere. I don't think that's the plural of mommy.
Totally.
Record.
I think it is. Maybe? It has a Y at the end. However, unneeded semicolon. I have also been getting several messages saying that my story is bad because Harry Potter is not just about witches, it is also about motherfucking semicolon. It is also about friendship, kindness, and bravery. Friends, this is exactly what I've been saying. Harry Potter has many good things about it, but it still has witchcraft.
You know...
God. So my children cannot read it.
Just a regular colon in there, you know, for variety. But then she added in, like, 2 more semicolons, so it doesn't balance. My lady.
But that is why I am writing this, so they can have all the adventure and good morals of the Harry Potter books without all that bad stuff bogging it down. I mean, Matthew 3:12, am I right? What the fuck is Matthew 3:12?
Okay.
No, I got it. What the hell is Matthew? Is that the fucking...
Let me... Okay. Let's see.
fuck does that have to
Matthew
do with anything about Harry
3:12
Potter?
is the 12th verse of the 3rd chapter of the Gospel of Matthew in the New Testament. The verse occurs in the section related to the preachings of John the Baptist. In this, he uses the imagery of harvesting wheat to describe God's judgment. I don't get it.
To do?
I don't get it.
Huh?
Okay. Hogwarts School of Prayer
Whatever.
and Miracles?
Harry queried and clasped his hands. Just at hearing that name, he felt such a sense of inner peace. He wanted to have more of that peace. He wanted to... Fucking semicolons. And he wanted to learn how to be a good Christian. He was starting to think that peace and being a good Christian were, in fact, the exact same thing. I hate this story so much.
Can I just put up a counter every time you say I hate semicolons? I think I will. I want to go there.
Hagrid beamed widely. He had been praying so hard to save a soul to...
This is definitely how Christianity works, right?
I'm pretty sure this is how Seventh-day Adventism works.
Jehovah's Witness?
Which one's the one that... Yeah.
Right.
Yes, that. I don't fucking care. And he was so happy to have saved the soul of such a sweet, earnest little one. Wait, okay, so... Rather than having Hagrid specifically looking for Harry like he is in the books...
No, he's just a wandering, kind, helpful stranger with no relation to Harry personally. Makes sense to me. I know. It totally ruins, a good part of a lot of Hagrid's decisions, generally speaking. But in this, he's a good Christian man who looks like the guy on the bounty towels with a cowboy hat.
The poor boy being raised by two parents who were not Christian. No, he just told you his parents were dead.
Well, that
with his
doesn't
aunt
stop
and
them from
uncle.
being parents. They do have Dudley, who we haven't seen any...
No. And who both went to work and left him with such a babysitter all day long.
Okay, maybe the author just kind of got rid of Dudley and forgot that aunts and uncles don't become parents.
No, that's a definite implication that Hagrid doesn't realize that Harry meant his parents are dead. I live with my aunt and uncle.
It was a good thing Hagrid had got there in time.
It was a good thing Hagrid had got here in time. 5 years down the road, Harry might have been a fornicating, drug-addicted
drug-addicted evolutionist. Don't be silly, Harry!
Aunt Petunia commanded, semicolon, and wrung her long, bony hands.
I will read you about evolution from the Dawkins. You don't need that silly religion.
From
Who
the
the
Dawkins.
hell is the Dawkins? Surely she doesn't...
I don't know. Charles Darwin was the one who pioneered evolution. I know Dawkins is a scientist.
Surely they were trying to say that Dawkins and Charles Darwin are the same person. Huh.
Wait.
Oh no.
Hang on. Wait. Please tell me he's not... Oh, no, he's that professor that they did, like, the movie on, the God is Dead movie,
she did say
I
something
think.
about Dawkins and God is Dead in the first chapter.
Yeah. Okay. So, no, she doesn't mean Darwin. She's not actually fucking up that badly.
Harry?
Okay. Harry scrunched up his innocent little face and thought very hard. Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon were as close to parents as he had, and this was the only home... Yes, I know, I'm trying not to. And this was the only home he knew. Could he really leave? But he was saved now. He had prayed the sinner's prayer. Could not stay here, not anymore, not with what he knew now.
I don't think
he's 11.
I don't really
That's
think
not
so.
his
He's been
fucking
acting a
choice.
lot younger than 11. Like, this is. Like, I mean, sure, I haven't hung around with very many 11-year-olds. In fact, the last time I did was when my younger sister was 11, and she's like verging on 13 now. So, and I've been living apart from them for like 3 years now, so I really don't know what 11-year-olds are like. But I'm pretty sure this isn't an 11-year-old's
Okay.
behavior. Like, most 11-year-olds are ingrained enough in their knowledge to know that if a stranger says to you, you have prayed the sinner's prayer and you can't, live here anymore and you have to come to the school, I think most 11-year-olds would drop everything, run away screaming, and go back to their parents, even if they are Dawkins evolutionists. Meanwhile, this is the behavior I would expect from, like, a
Anyways.
6-year-old.
Anyways. He could not stay here, not anymore, not with what he knew
No,
now. Suddenly
Petunia.
he knew what he had to do. He uttered
That's
calmly with childlike wisdom. That's an oxymoron if I ever
Evolution
heard
is
one.
not
Childlike
real.
wisdom.
I'm going to Hogwarts. No, Harry.
Aunt
I have an
Petunia
idea.
screeched
You can have a
desperately.
second birthday today. You like birthdays, right? Birthdays are not of gold.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize Christians weren't allowed to have birthdays.
Wow, my family's really big on sinning then. Not very good Christians.
I'm suddenly very glad I wasn't raised Christian if we're not allowed to have birthdays.
This also implies that the writer of this doesn't let her kids
no.
have birthdays.
Oh, that's sad.
Like, what the actual
Birthdays
fuck?
are not of God.
Okay, anyways.
Semicolon.
Harry verbalized knowingly and looked at his
tried to
aunt with an
corrupt me,
innocent
But
wisdom.
it did not work. But I forgive you, Aunt Petunia, because of Luke 23:34. What is Luke 23:34, and how do I know it?
It's actually the first thing that pops up when I write
Oh,
in Luke
boy.
23 into my search bar.
I'll throw it up on screen once we in editing.
Let's see. Oh, I think it's when. Yeah, it's like the crucifixion of Jesus.
Okay.
When he...
So when he, yeah, okay. Woo-wee. Oh, there's another Bible verse.
Okay.
I'll just look it up ahead of time.
Hagrid was amazed once again at the wisdom of little ones. Oh, so it's Hagrid and not we this time. Are we going to not, put ourselves in the story
I
again,
don't know.
Miss Author?
She seems to be the type.
He did not know if he could forgive someone who had hurt him as much as this woman had hurt little Harry. Deny him the truth? Who could be so cruel? But Harry did not even think twice about it. He forgave, just like that. Truly, Hagrid had gained a new understanding of Matthew 19:14 that day.
Basically, where Jesus is like, "Yeah, don't prevent kids from like learning about me because the kingdom of heaven is for them." Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Oh, so he's.
Oh, hey, no, Dudley is in here. Look at that. For
Didn't
like one.
leave, Harry. What?
Flea?
You cut out there.
Said Dudley wailed childlessly. That's the line.
I must.
Harry said and stepped over the threshold because that's the important bit.
Dursleys. I hope you are saved too one day.
And with that, he and Hagrid began to walk down Privet Drive. She didn't even spell that right. It's Private Drive.
Now it's private. How will we get to this school, Hagrid?
Which means not only is Hagrid kidnapping Harry,
Yeah, a
he's
little
also
bit.
trespassing.
Private Drive. No trespassing here. No solicitations.
Harry
We will pray.
queried curiously. God, did they get rid of the fucking train too?
What
Okay.
about his school supplies? He was
Hagrid
supposed to go to
retorted
Diagon Alley
knowledgeably.
for his school supplies. How will we do that? How do we do that?
Harry solicited inquisitively. You
You
just use
flowery
asked.
purple prose using prick. Sorry, no, the whole adjective combined with a overly flowery, and not even like forgive me if
I
I'm
don't
wrong,
know.
but doesn't to solicit or solicited or solicit mean demanding, sort of, in a way? Yeah.
Sort of.
Watch.
Hagrid said, and then got down on his knees on the road. He motioned for Harry to get down on his knees too. Hagrid raised his hands to the heavens and cried
Dear
out in a deep,
Lord,
thunderous
take us to
voice.
Hogwarts.
Harry felt himself being whisked away, and in a moment he was sitting in the cool, damp grass outside a humongous, beautiful castle. I'm
Castles and
surprised it's not
churches
a
look an awful
church.
lot alike in
He
some
looked in
places.
awe at the tall towers. True. He looked in awe at the tall towers and the grey stones. What a beautiful place. A tall, thin man with a big wire spectacles stood in front of Harry. He was wearing a brown tweed suit and a nice matching hat. Shoes were made of leather and polished until they shone. He had a smile much like Hagrid's smile. So
No,
peaceful, Harry
this is the
knew
way to
just
get
knew he could
stuck in
trust him.
Candyland, children. Do not trust people that you don't know that just happen to have a nice smile and tell you about Christianity.
No.
Don't
No.
don't no,
No.
don't go with them. Don't
No.
pray with them.
No.
Oh
I
my
just read the
god.
next sentence.
Okay.
I just read the next bit. A lovely, kindly young woman with flowing blonde hair and a pleasant heart-shaped face
Hello
stood
there,
beside
little
this
one.
holy man. The man greeted
I am the
amicably.
Reverend
No,
Albus
no,
Dumbledore, and this is
no,
my wife,
no,
Minerva.
no,
Welcome to. I know who
no, that's
Minerva McGonagall
McGonagall.
is, and Minerva
That's
McGonagall
supposed to
is
be
not
McGonagall.
a kindly young woman with flowing blonde hair. She is a stern, elderly woman who keeps her hair up in a bun at all times and is not, in any way, shape, or form, married to Albus motherfucking Dumbledore. Welcome to Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles.
Author's note.
Hey,
Blessings.
it's not as bad as
This
my
fic is
immortal. It's a bit
cursed.
better presented. Or at least it's better put together.
It's cursed. I don't care if it's better. It's not hard to be
Fair
better than my
enough.
immortal. It's still
Ironic,
fucking
considering its
cursed.
strong Christian overtones. Chapter 3. Author's Note. Hello, friends. I have struggled a lot about whether or not to keep going with this story, but with a lot of praying, my husband and I have decided it is the right thing to do. We want our little ones to have good Christian literature to read, and in this modern world, sometimes that can be hard to come by, so I will just have to make do. I just realized the implication that, one, not only is this woman crazily Christian obsessed, two, she's giving this to her actual children, presumably in a physical form, and three, she's married.
Probably.
And her husband is agreeing with this.
I want to point out that it's also implying that, she had to get her husband's permission to write this in the first place. My husband and I have decided. Not I have decided.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
My husband and I have decided.
Tend to be a bit more patriarchal than matriarchal, isn't that right? Anyway. Pleased to meet you, Reverend Dumbledore, Harry replied enthusiastically, and got to his feet. This sure is a beautiful place you have here. The Reverend beamed. Why, thank you, little one. His voice had a distinctive southern twang to it that made Harry feel so safe and welcome. Does that mean I get to use my newsy voice again?
Oh god.
Yay!
They're fucking no, they're fucking southern.
Yeah.
Oh god.
For those of you
Suddenly
who don't live
everything
in
is
America and
explained.
do not know, the southern states are incredibly religious. I come from Florida, which is spared that hillbilly nonsense because, for some reason, Florida isn't considered the South.
It's Florida.
But the neighbor not
Noct, however, lives in Texas, which is
not to
smack
mention,
dab in
but
the middle of the
also
Bible
happens to be
Belt.
neighbors with Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia. That whole stretch of land is nothing but hillbillies, hicks, and really, really religious nutty people. And Florida somehow got spared this travesty. Thank God. This poor little. Sorry. Why, thank you, little one. His voice had a distinctive southern twang to it that made Harry feel so safe and welcome. He knew in that moment that the Reverend was a man of God. This poor little one was being raised in a terrible situation, Hagrid declared concernedly. He was watched by a babysitter every second of the day. His aunt saw him as part of her perfect life package, like the big house, the fancy career, the speedy car.
Wait. How the fuck does
He didn't
Hagrid know
see a
Harry's
babysitter,
watched by a
like at
babysitter?
all. His wife
Every
has been his aunt has been there the whole time.
no.
This implies that Hagrid has been stalking the neighborhood that Harry comes from, at the very most, and most likely just stalking their house in particular. Dumbledore shook his head sadly.
Anyways.
Too bad no one told her. Parenting should be about the children, not the parents. That's why it's called parenting. What? Yeah, perfect sense,
okay.
I get it. Hagrid nodded wisely. Dumbledore turned to Harry and announced authoritatively, Now, you can start your classes tomorrow morning. Today, you can get settled into your dormitory. But first, why don't you eat dinner with my family and me? Really? Harry gasped excitedly. I've never had a family dinner before. Why don't you come with us then? Dumbledore cried kindly, and then got down on his knees. Everyone else did the same. Raising his large, massive, manly hands to the heavens, Dumbledore bellowed in a voice even louder than Hagrid's had been. Lord, please take us to the kitchen! Nope. Praying.
Have these people not heard of
is
walking?
the way to travel. Suddenly, they all found themselves in a tasteful, decorated kitchen. Wow! Harry shouted in awe. He was still getting used to the power of prayer. Sometimes we take the wonderful things the Lord gives us for granted, and it takes a newcomer to the fold for us to understand how blessed we are. That was amazing! Yeah, we're part of this now.
Oh, look, we've got the wheeze again.
Hagrid smiled knowingly. God is an amazing guy. I'm sorry, I'm just imagining God up in heaven, in the clouds, with his big, general, the general image of God, and he hears this weedy old man with a southern accent demand to be taken to the kitchen. And he's like, excuse you, fine, just go away, never talk to me again. He sure is, the Reverend's wife chuckled, before getting down on her knees and raising her own hands upward. Dear Lord, please set the table with the sky blue cloth and the Sunday dishes, and please give us biscuits fried golden brown and gravy, creamy mashed potatoes, and my great Aunt Eleanor's corn casserole, corn on the cob slathered with butter, and for dessert, some chocolate raspberry cookies. And then he hears that. And then he hears that.
So I'm guessing this is her way of covering the magically appearing food on the tables in the Great Hall.
Exactly as the Reverend's wife had asked for them, masterfully prepared and delicious smelling. Harry's mouth dropped open. Truly, this woman was a real Proverbs 31 wife. Thank you. I also want to point out while you're doing that.
Hang on. I'm looking it up. That's the first that I don't want to... No, it's the first thing that pops up into Google
By
when you
the
hit
way, she
Proverbs.
asked for her great aunt Eleanor's corn
Oh
casserole,
no.
which means she probably took the corn casserole that her great aunt Eleanor had like made for her own family, and just stole it. Magic. I mean, Christianitedly. What is Proverbs 31? This is going to upset the women, and this is gonna.
I'm just going to read you a couple. I'm just going to read you a couple lines from
Okay.
the epilogue, "The Wife of Noble Character." Oh my god, I can't even. This is.
What is a good
It's
Christian
basically
woman?
what a good Christian woman is.
Never mind.
There's
Hermione!
like 31
The
lines. I'm not
beverage
reading all of
summoned
it.
loudly. Dinner time! Immediately and with cheerful obedience, an 11-year-old in a pretty pink dress with a matching bow came running down the stairs. She ran over to her father and
No.
gave him a winning
No.
smile that daughters
No.
have. Oh no! He did not turn Hermione Granger, the greatest witch of Harry Potter's generation, daughter to 2 dentists, into fucking Albus Dumbledore's daughter at 11. And
Albus.
and then they
No.
put her in a pretty
No,
pink
they did.
dress with a
She
matching
did.
bow. That's something I would expect on a toddler. Like, you see kids in pretty pink dresses with matching bows when they're too little to tell their parents to fuck off and let them dress themselves. Welcome home, Daddy, she smiled and then turned to his wife. Can I help with dinner, Mommy? It is all prepared, thanks be to God, her mother retorted gracefully. Hermione nodded knowingly. Hermione, I would like you to meet Harry Potter, our newest student at Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles, Dumbledore introduced magnanimously. Harry, I would like you to meet Hermione Granger, my beloved daughter, and apparently is adopted because she doesn't have Hermione Dumbledore as her last name. Thank God. Thank God. Pleased to meet you, Hermione responded sweetly, with an shy grin.
No.
About this whole
There's
thing,
just
really.
so much no about this
Harry
sentence.
could barely respond. This was the most beautiful young woman he had ever come across. So different from all the girls in public school who were focused on trying to be like the career women they saw in the Sex and the City. This little one was the picture of innocence and godliness. Now, Dumbledore pronounced genially, let's
Don't be sick.
as the holy men, women, and little ones. Women? As in more than one? Is Hermione being placed both in the women category and the little one category? And as the holy men, women, and little ones dug into the delicious mana?
Mana.
Mana is a word I've always associated with magic and mysticism, not with Christianity. Anyway, the conversation amongst the adults turned to darker topics. Harry listened intently, and he did not understand it, but he was very interested. Dark days are coming, Hagrid pronounced gravely around a mouthful of casserole. You think these people have manners?
Apparently being Christian doesn't
Evil
afford you with good table
forces are coming
manners.
into this world, and the little ones at Hogwarts may be our last resort. Psalm 127:5. Dumbledore referenced solemnly, and the others around the table nodded knowingly. Hogwarts might be the last hope for the forces of good in this world. Author's note. Blessings! Okay, before you even look at it, I'm going to say, if I was saying something about horrible situations coming in the future and how our children are the next, like the last resort, I would not respond with a weird reference that sounds like gobbledygook to somebody who is probably new at the table, who doesn't know anything about my religion, and would probably and should not know anything about the religious verses that I have just referenced because he has not heard them. To anybody else, this would sound like complete and utter gobbledygook, which, let's be fair, most of this is. Now, what is some...
This is even better. Well, there's a lot of different translations for it, but blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. They will not be put to shame when they contend with their components in court. The line before it is, like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of one's youth. How blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. They shall not be ashamed when they speak with their enemies in the gate.
And 2, put kids in your quivers.
Other.
Really weird.
It's basically one of those kids are the future things,
just in very Bible terms. Just the end of chapter 4. We're gonna aim for 4 chapters per episode. This is not a very long fan fiction. Thank God.
Okay. Oh. Author's note. Hello, friends. I apologize for being gone for so long. One of my little ones came down with pneumonia, so of course my life has been nothing but doctor's appointment and chicken soup. Well, at least she takes them to the doctor. And that's on top of all the other work Mommy has to do. I had nearly forgotten about this little story of mine. Oh, don't we wish. When I sat down to catch up on my email, and lo and behold, there were dozens of messages from this lovely site.
That's a bit more...
Now, of course, there were some hateful messages that made me very sad, but for every review posted by an evolutionist with a bee in his bonnet, there were 3 lovely private messages from other mommies out there thanking me for doing the Lord's work.
Oh. No, I mean, like, apparently the only way to read this is if you're an evolutionist or a mommy. And I am neither. Well, I believe in science. I believe evolution is a thing. I don't believe that it's evil. But I wouldn't be called an evolutionist or a Scientologist. And I'm most certainly not a mommy.
Anyways, let's just get this over with. I know when the Lord is telling me something. So here's another chapter for all you mommies out there and all you non-believers spreading hatred. Well, let's see if you weren't converted by the time this story is over. Yeah, right, bitch. Especially when you're, twisting and warping one of my favorite fandoms. When the delicious filling dinner had ended, Harry wiped some last tasty cookie crumbs from the side of his mouth. He was very full and very tired. Discovering the truth, being saved, and coming to Hogwarts, it had certainly been a long day for this little one. Why do we keep referring to him as the little one?
Than a toddler. You look like you could use a good night's sleep.
The Reverend... have you noticed that...
The Reverend's wife. Always the Reverend's
It's never
wife.
Minerva.
And,
it's the Reverend's wife.
Hermione, and her name is referenced twice, and then the rest of the time she's the little one, or the innocent girl.
The Reverend's wife commented daintily, "There's nothing dainty about Minerva McGonagall, you whore."
Oh, boy! I'm sorry. Sorry, give me a moment. How would you like to move into your dormitory? I would love to!
Harry cried cheerfully. He was so excited to become a student here, and he was so grateful for the opportunities for the Lord had given to him. Sometimes people who
why didn't you show a
have done without are the most grateful.
Dumbledore suggested wisely. I'm so sorry, that was reflex.
Am I supposed to be reading or are you?
I'd love to, Daddy.
Not Hermione replied obediently with an innocent, girlish smile, and got to her feet and smoothed out the skirt of her becoming pink frock.
I can take care of that tonight.
Frock is a type of dress. The Reverend's wife, seriously, still,
Mm-hmm.
answered indulgently. At least I can pretend it's not Minerva. She keeps calling her
Thank
that.
you, Mommy!
And she was already beginning to clear the elegant porcelain dishes. Not
Would you please
Hermione,
come with me?
shouted gratefully, and she walked over to Harry. Harry blushed shyly and got to his feet. His aunt had never taught him how to talk to pretty girls. She always said that pretty girls were shallow and not very smart, and that a real woman put her career first and didn't care about her looks. But it only took one look at this
Okay,
godly young
I'm
girl
going
to
say
realize
something
just how
really
wrong
quick
that
for
was.
my
Oh,
own
God.
sanity. If she's going to keep referring to them in such infantile tones, then I'm going to continue to envision them in my head as being like 6 years old. No. No, this is a 6-year-old
It said Hermione's
child who
11.
doesn't know that she's being a 6-year-old. Or it's a very abused 11-year-old who's been twisted and brainwashed.
A woman taking pride in her appearance is honoring the Lord, because after all, it is the Lord who gave her a pretty face and not nice hair and not genetics. Harry got the feeling that Hermione was as beautiful on the inside as she was on the outside. I don't ship Harry and Hermione, but this is I don't think a Harry Hermione shipper would ship this bullshit. The two little ones stepped out into the brisk, chilly night, and for a few minutes they were both silent. Harry did not think it was possible for this sweet, demure girl to be as nervous as he was. She was a little nervous herself.
Welcome to Hogwarts.
After a few minutes, Hermione welcomed shyly.
We're really so glad to have you here.
Harry's face reddened as they crossed an expansive flowery field. They were going in the direction of a cluster of imposing stone, academic-looking buildings. What does a building have to look like to look academic, I ask you?
Boxy. Thank you.
Ah, so boxy.
Stone, academic look, yeah.
I lost my place because I was getting angry.
It is beautiful, and it feels
He
very
muttered,
holy.
yeah, I found it. Yeah, he
Somebody
muttered
should
happily.
really take care of those potholes in the turf. I feel like we're gonna trip. It is.
Hermione commented enthusiastically, and her chocolate-colored, carefully curled tresses were bouncing along with her steps.
Carefully curled, maybe not. My father is a...
I'm terrified when what's going to happen when she introduces Ron.
My father is a very godly man, and to spread the word of the Lord is his greatest dream. Truly, that is a noble dream.
Harry responded gravely with wisdom beyond his few years. They walked for a few more minutes in silence. Eventually they reached the end of the lovely green meadow. Hermione exposited knowingly, and with the innocent casual affection so often found in children, she grabbed Harry's hand as she led him around the edifice of classrooms. Harry was so nervous he could not think of anything to say. His brain fumbled for the perfect Christian thing to say, despite the fact that he's only been Christian for like an hour. But before he could even manage a word, Hermione came to a stop in front of a tall stone tower. The devout young woman explained kindly, and she gestured to the heavy oak door beside them.
I understand.
Harry declared graciously, too many young men these days pressure young women into things undesired. You're 11!
Because there is a great big difference between a child and a young adult. A young adult, in my...
Old-fashioned gentlemen to respect the fact that every young woman is another man's future wife.
I'll take over.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go be sick. Please excuse me.
Okay.
No, I'm going to get this done. And we all know that it would be a dreadful, terrible sin to bring another man's wife into intimacy. Why does modern culture suddenly treat that as okay simply because he does not have her yet? Man's
Don't
laws
hurt
may permit it,
PG
but the
or your
laws of the
kitties,
Lord are
that's all
not
I
bound by
ask.
time. I need to punch someone in the face.
Ooh.
No, not either of them. Hermione moved to push open the imposing large door, but she struggled with the knob. It was quite a heavy door. But Harry was a good, devout Christian now. He would not have a young, godly girl struggling to open a door which he was perfectly capable of opening himself. With a simple faith so often seen in little ones, Harry got down on his
Dear
knees and lifted
Lord,
his hands
please open
skyward
these doors and
and
allow
shouted
me to enter my new home.
prayerfully.
Even though I just thought that I would open the doors myself with my own physical being rather than make Hermione do it, but instead I'm going to make you do it, God.
That echoed throughout the expansive, beautiful campus. Dude, chill. The doors crashed open.
With as much
Harry
pomp and
stood
circumstance
up
as you
piously.
can put
How do
into
you
it.
stand up piously? As Hermione's jaw dropped. Now she knew
Is
for
he a
certain
man,
that
or
this
is he
was
a little
truly a
one, or is he
man
a
of the lore.
child, or
He
a
is
young
11.
man? Who knows?
Harry was about to step inside when Hermione
Wait,
grabbed
Harry.
his arm. He blushed once
There's
more.
someone you should know. What is it?
Hermione uttered quickly.
My father says that dark times are coming.
Questioningly.
There's a man named Voldemort who wants to destroy all that we
Hermione
stand
spoke
for.
worriedly.
He's pushing an agenda in Congress which will stop us from practicing our faith freely. But that's what our founding fathers built this nation for. Harry, sorry. The freedom of religion.
Cried indignantly.
She's force feeding us Christianity.
Not that the author seems to care much,
Voldemort.
considering. Like, I'm sorry. Did we miss read the same first couple
Yeah.
chapters as you did? Because
Voldemort
you don't
doesn't
seem to care about freedom of religion unless it's this.
And he is gaining power. The freedom
Hermione
of
remarked
Christians
sadly,
to
and she
practice
shook
our
her head.
faith. Not in this America.
I'm sorry.
Alabama. That's all I can think of.
I'm sorry. What America are you living in?
Yeah. The
I'm
freedom
pretty
of
sure they have
Christians
plenty of freedom to
our
practice their
is
faith
disappearing by
everywhere.
the day. Soon, it will be like it was in Rome. And I don't like
Tears
lions.
began to roll down her delicate, terrified
It'll be all right.
face. Is that implying that we're going to go back to putting Christians in, like,
I thought it was
the
just a smack
Colosseum
against
to be
Gryffindors.
torn apart by lions? No, like it was in Rome. She's referring to putting people in the
Not this good
Colosseum
God, but
to get torn apart by lions.
it will be all right. Or a little one.
Harry
or a
reassured
children,
manfully.
Or speaking with wisdom
He's
beyond
11.
his year. He can't be both. We will just need to pray really, really hard. That's why we're here, after all. You're so brave.
Not Hermione pronounced admiringly, and she wiped the tears from her
Thank
eyes.
you
She flung
for
her
giving
arms
me
around Harry's
courage.
neck. Oh my god, you little harlot. Before departing and entering his new home. It wasn't until the doors had closed behind him that he realized that he did not know where he was supposed to sleep. The tower consisted of an old stone staircase winding up the steep, sacred walls, and there were doors leading into each bedroom off of the stairway corridor. Harry felt very lost for a moment, but a quick prayer showed him the way. Of course, As he collapsed into his bed, he very tired from such an eventful day, he thought about the days that were coming. It was truly a good thing
Thank
that
you,
the Lord had called him when he
everybody,
did.
for watching. We'll continue this again,
I
and hopefully it will get better. It could drop the strong Christian overtones.
not gonna get better.
Well, thank you all for watching. I have been Paint, and we'll spare you the rest of this fan fiction for today because we don't want our readers
I've been
frothing at
knocked.
the mouths.
Or
Yes.
anything else. Anyone else frothing at the mouth because there's only so much of this drink.
Blessings, everyone. We'll see you again on the next one. And if you liked this video, please pray for us and so that the Lord may give us a like, a share, a comment, and a subscribe. Oh, we love the Lord's work. We hope that the Lord brings you back.
So much. I hate you so much.
We were were we ever gonna go anywhere else?
We're going to hell. And I'm going to be...
Bye-bye, everyone.
No.